The following program is meant for adult audiences only. If you are easily offended, you are choosing to be offended by continuing to watch. If jokes upset you, whether bad or good, you might end up crying. Being a bitch in life is difficult, I imagine, but you must find a way to continue. For all the haters and lurkers, hope you enjoy the show. For the Bigot Army, enjoy the show. Don't be a pussy.
そうだ。テレビつけてもいいぞ。
冒険アニメ。
よりによって。
サイレンサー付きの拳銃だと。
ワクワク。
Here we go! Lucha, 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 lucha! It's the way of life!
There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
the Grifter Zone.
Oh, you found your moo.
My crew is big and it keeps getting bigger. That's 'cause Jesus Christ is.
Man, I want to get drunk in a hotel room with you.
That might be taken
Phrasing.
out of context.
Gay, gay, gay.
Oh. Hypno. How is it my fault? What? The bracket gifted this and I'm immediately called an anti-Semite? Come on, dog.
Bruh.
What are these characters? Nazi furry? Hypno, why would you do this to me? Said, welcome to Goonergate. Protect your booty hole.
What's up, nerds? It's Alyssa Mercante, Kotaku senior editor, and
nobody even wants you here.
And I would take her to Chili's, maybe. You know, like, genuinely, I just want the best for her. Genuinely.
Listen, if it was consensual and you didn't hate the Jews, I'd fuck the shit out of you. I would.
What did he say? People are gonna clip that. You know that I don't.
Clip it. I know you don't. Come on. But that's the thing. Why can't we have fun?
Bruh.
That's an interesting way of putting. That makes sense.
He's jealous. Fuck yeah. Been knew I was that bitch. I didn't need a man to tell him to fuck.
And Hypnotic again, member for 1 month. Thank you. Enjoy First Berserker. What's that black stuff between an elephant's toes? Slow natives. Wait.
Wild.
Yeah. On the other end of the spectrum. Yes.
Okay.
I'd say that goes out of dad into dark, but sure, yeah.
Definitely dark.
Somebody replies and it says, "This is embarrassing." And he says, "Not as embarrassing as your take on trans kids. It was not researched. It was cruel and it had no basis in facts. So forgive me if I don't take all your takes that seriously." Who's this person?
Bruh.
Look at the fucking thumbnail. God of Cock Meltdown. Oh my God, look at this. Oh man. Yeah, sure. Trans kids, for sure, man.
Right, but you're giving an opinion on an article with a headline that's inflammatory. So the fact that you're giving an opinion on what's on screen,
Did I focus on the inflammatory nature of the headline?
Well, can I assume that everything in this article you would agree with?
You shouldn't assume. It makes an ass out of yourself and me.
Okay, so
down his timeline, you're gonna see a lot of ass and titties. Okay, me on my Twitter timeline, you ain't gonna see none of that. As a matter of fact, like I can show you, I can scroll down my entire news feed on Twitter. Why would you ruin my point? I'm trying. God damn. Why would you ruin it? I didn't do that. I don't know who this chick is. Why would you do that? I can't even edit it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Someone you love been canceled? Have you been the target of online harassment because of something you said or refused to be compelled to say by the mob? Did you mistakenly think you could be an individual, form your own opinions, and keep all of your friends? Did your social credit score tanked because you had a conversation with, subscribe to, or follow someone who suffers from wrongthink? Have you been called a literal Nazi because you think taking care of one's physical health is important? Have you tried apologizing for your transgressions only to find out you actually poured gasoline on the they-them flames? Have you ever had a politically incorrect thought or, heaven forbid, made an off-color joke? Well, we here at the Office of the Cancelled are here for you. As a member of the club, we offer exclusive trading cards, flak jackets, lapel pins, access to bomb shelters, as well as audio tracks from based artists that are sure to pump you up for a day at the range and get some of that much-needed two-way therapy. Remember, folks, you're only canceled if you let yourself be canceled, and every one of those collectivist NPCs can go fuck themselves.
Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cat, eat the cat.
I'll wait some time because the longer we wait, like the more realistic it'll be, you know, when he comes back to life. The touch of the black man in a woke story. The God hand shining down, shining upon thee. White man as you lay down. Cis white man and couple in background. Understand the power of a black man is a God hand.
Pro-black Twitter!
I breathe life into you. One touch is not enough from greatness. One touch from the black man. Watch me do it again. Kneel and be amazed at the touch of the black man. I bring life. I bring life.
Pro-black Twitter hoes!
That's right! That's right!
Robocock, don't clip that, no!
Bruh.
Oh God, that's getting clipped.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Oh shit. I was doing so good tonight too.
I'm tired of you! Drops, retard. Robocock.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Hypnocast. That's right, we are live. We are live. We're going to dive down the rabbit hole that is known as the internet. But before we do that, boys, you got to bring it in awkwardly close. Let's go. We got to bring it in awkwardly close. We start off every single stream looking at each other's eyes. Let's go. Bring it in very close. Hug it out in the chat. Come on. I need to see the hugging emojis. I need to see the hugging emojis. They are being spammed right now in the chat. It's a beautiful thing. And then you can listen very closely while that's happening. If you're watching on YouTube, like the stream. If you're watching on Twitter, like the post. You are not watching on Rumble because Rumble's currently experiencing a DDoS attack, and you're definitely not watching on Twitch because I stopped streaming there. Like the stream. Like the stream in the two places that you are watching right now. Like the stream. Can I get a mic check, please? Mic check, titty check, balls check. What are we checking today? What are we checking today, ladies and gentlemen, in this beautiful chat on this Friday evening? What are we checking? Dragon says he likes to suck dick. Man, the things you guys admit to is very odd. It's very odd. I don't really know here. Birthday check. Uh-oh. We need to wish Chicken Senpai a happy birthday. Everybody in the chat right now spam birthday emojis for Chicken Senpai right now, ladies and gentlemen. Birthday emojis everywhere. We got a hot wings check. Gotta sue them all check. Fair enough. For daring femboys and cute tomboys check. Nintendo is Disney check. Vara check. Testicular fortitude check. I feel old, everything hurts check. Your mom check. Power outage check. Wait, Rumble what check? Playing Disgaea 5 check. What the? It's back up now. HBD. Mario Salami check. Why are you checking Mario Salami? Do you need to start off repenting or something? Is that what it is? Do you need to start off repent? Like, why are you checking? What's wrong with you? It's disgusting. Nintendo sucks check. Nothing new there. SmackDown check. Fair. Cabrutus is back check. I don't know what you mean by that. And then, of course, we got a happy birthday check. For Yoda 13 money shot check. THE gummies check. And then Smash JT is the real mastermind behind Gabergate check. But Cyber Rider says, looks down. Yep. Titty check is checked. That's funny. All right, guys, listen, our ESG scores are at their maximum. We are fully funded, and the titties have been checked. Like the stream, boys. Like the stream. All right, boys, let's do the Bigot Army roll call. Let's see who is in his chat right now. Aside from former Kotaku urinalists, black samurais that unfortunately no longer exist, and people that like to bitch about every little thing and pretend they're big boys when they do it. We got Flip Shazam. We got Soul Reaper 2078. We got Adair Soto. Belgian Warrior. We got Mr. Rouge. What's up, Mr. Rouge? We got Sonia. Sonia says counting for Hypnotic check. We got Louis Pasita. Mr. Melancholy. We got Yamato 85. We got Christopher Lloyd. We got Roseus. We got Louis Messina. Scooby Pup. Anime Mania 500. Blue Octopus. He says, I want gummies. War Maniac 209. Dark Obsidian says, Hypno, what's up? What up, bro? How you doing? Sold me out. Flip Shazam. Yoda 13. Bud. Bud's already trying to get people money shotted. We got Chronaros. We got Mr. Melancholy. Delta Sierra. K, the Gounet Queen. We got Jeremiah Maxwell. Octoise. We got Ryan. St. Hugo. Mr. Rouge again says, me. XL Tomahawk. Thwarted Geek. I still follow you. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you. Barry Stroud. Scott Hott. Rudoka. Radio Chimp. Tiger King says, I'm not here. You lie. We got Jedi. Old Man Cad. Nick Havoc. Raziel. Valkyrie. The Voice in the Water. The True Aztec Warrior. Toxin saying it's gay. And Miss Lunatic. All right, guys. 4 more people. And that's it. That's all I could afford to call out. 4 more people. And then we got to get on with the show. We got Sleeping Nova. Latino Heat. We got Anime Mania 500. We got Matthew. The Modifiers. We got the one and only Omnis Ra. We got Angmar WK. We got the one and only Odin Dark number 2. The Secret Final Boss. We got Blinded Journeyman. What's up, man? How you doing? I'm good. Thank you. Zelosi, I hope you get to. We got Vigilante up, not to be confused with Vigilante down. We got the Crimson Jet, the legend of the waifu battles. We got the one and only Romanizer, which I think I said already. We got JW. We got Adam freaking Juneman. We got Felsteph, Fluffy Murder Machine, Colonel Ruv, D-Mag, Ashton Tyler. What's up, Ashton? We got Not Your Business Center 2. We got Kush. We got Trooper FN 2525. We got Jeremiah Maxwell saying he has weed. We got Jedi, PS5 Gamer, Randall the Vandal, Matt Stanford, Imperator Davidus Rufus. We got Cyber Rider, who confirmed the titties are still there. We got Vidal 6x6. We got Hypnotic's Cat. And then last but not least, we got Void Boy, Captain Monkey, Cidavir's Fish saying pick me, The Devil Max, Frag Monkey, Ice Crew Mice Elf, and then, of course, to finish it off, who's going to get it? Let's see. Kyle Barra. All right, guys, listen, I called out as many people as I possibly could. Sacrifice your fellow Bigot Army member, and let's see who is going to get this massive money shot today, ladies and gentlemen. Who is going to get it already? Here we go. Look, Colonel Rub says go down ×6 with no Diddy, no lotion, no underwear. Most importantly, Nintendo Ninja's attack. No, that's too overpowered. That's too overpowered. You cannot use Nintendo's lawyer ninjas in the waifu battle. That is extremely overpowered. But we're going to go down ×6 anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mr. Vegeta says no call out. Infinite Shield. Ultimate Super Gallic Gun Finisher to Cyber Rider? Oh, no. I hope she didn't say anything after this message. If Cyber Rider said something after this message and she did not protect her booty hole, Cyber Rider will be the recipient of the money shot today. Or if she stays quiet and I can't find her in the next few seconds, then she's going to be safe from the money shot. Let's see. I'm looking. Oh, no. Oh, no. She was trying to genuinely participate in the conversation. She was just trying to partake in the conversation. Damn. They got her. No. They got Cyber Rider. Oh, no. Oh, no. All right. Well, congratulations, Cyber Rider. You. She says she's cooked. You are the recipient of the money shot today.
Oh! Oh!
What the?
Like the stream, boys. How could you do that to Cyber Rider? That's so fucked up, man. Cyber Rider was just trying to have a conversation. And you guys are like, hold up, wait a minute. Before we continue the conversation, here's a money shot. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I'm sorry, Cyber Rider. This chat is crazy, but that's just how it goes sometimes. All right, guys, listen, we got a lot to talk about. All right. We're going to be talking about Nintendo. Okay. Nintendo is going to be one of the main topics of the conversation today. They released a brand new EULA, end user license agreement, that essentially says that you can't sue them without telling them about it first. You can't sue them without mailing them to their address within 30 days of accepting the EULA. It's all kinds of nonsense, bro. We got to talk about it because Nintendo's on their bullshit again. So we'll cover that. But, you know, if you want a deep dive, tomorrow I have a highly edited video, which apparently only belongs to one person. You can't do highly edited videos on YouTube. I don't know what everybody else was doing anymore, but I have a highly edited video coming out tomorrow that is going to be about Nintendo and Nintendo's entire history of lawsuits and how what's happening with Power World is kind of tied to this whole EULA nonsense. So if you guys want to check that out, please check that out tomorrow, 11 o'clock in the morning. I would greatly appreciate it. It's going to be a good one. But in any case, Nintendo is changing their EULA. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a little bit of Borderlands 4 news. Apparently, Randy Pitchford is basically begging people to please play the game and stop judging it before you play it. that kind of a thing. So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about Overwatch, because apparently developers at Blizzard, over 200 of them, have now formed a new union within the company that I feel like we should talk about, amongst other things. We got Expedition 33, we got Doom, we got a little bit of Fortnite. We got great news regarding Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 with the Bam Margera stuff that was rumored for months before. Remember when I talked about that? Well, apparently that's been confirmed to be true. We got to cover that as well. There's a lot of shit going on, so let's get into it. But before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we need to do the #1 segment on YouTube. We need to do the #1 segment that was on Rumble before the DDoS attack. We need to do the #1 segment on Twitter. And we need to do the #1 segment in the entire universe. The #1 segment that people copied all over the place on YouTube, and yet I never once complained. This segment is known all around the world as the pre-stream legend.
Money, print money, cash, money, wealth, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, more money, heaps and heaps of money, print money, cash, money, wealth, capitalism, raise a bunch of money, superchat money.
As salty as the sea, calling us no code names. SJW screaming, but it's money they blame. Burning with envy, they're falling flat. They can't handle the sound of a super chat.
All right. It is now time for the pre-stream legends, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right into it so we can get into the content. Starting us off with Sold Me Out 4-2. And Sold Me Out says, like the stream or Lurker Supreme will snipe you. You know, we love Lurker Supreme here. About 83% of the time. 83% of the time, we love Lurker Supreme. So shout out to you, Sold Me Out. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the $2 banger. You absolute legend. We have no Rumble rants to read today, unfortunately, because Rumble's being stupid. So it's going to be all YouTube today, boys. All YouTube today. Hopefully, our friends over at Rumble joined us on YouTube, although I know how much they hate YouTube. We got Hypnemion. I don't even know how to say this word. But $49.99. You're going to cause some feelings with this one. Says, Uwu, dear gamers and cozy bigots, I'm an aspiring and a transitioning YouTuber, which, by the way, again, for over a year, my YouTube channel, according to YouTube anyway, and their analytics, has been run by a trans black female that goes by they, them. Just so you're aware. Because I figured if I were to say I'm a trans black female, maybe they would promote my channel, but I guess they really didn't want to do that anymore. I love Eric Jenkins' feet pics. That's nasty. And I'm a true simp for Sonya. Are you talking about Eric Jenkins being a simp for? No, Eric Jenkins is a simp for hold on. Eric Jenkins is a simp for Piranha Pal, right? I have 43 strikes on my channel and always looking for more. Wow. Have a great stream, Bigot Army. Well, shout out to you. I appreciate it. Thank you for the $49.99, and you will nuke the chat. Thank you so much for the $49.99. And actually, one of my strikes is about to come off my channel, so I'm pretty excited about that. Then we got Sold Me Out for a 5. Hypno's Discord server has become the Yoda 13's butthole server. God has forsaken us. I hope he's not showing his booty hole over there. I will ban that shit so fast. No, I highly doubt it, but still. Yes, I know Rumble is getting DDoSed. I know Rumble's not gay. They're getting DDoSed. I'm just saying, God, take the joke. And then we got the legendary Samurai Badger with a $10 banger simply saying, sup, y'all? What's up, dude? How you doing? I appreciate you. Thank you for hanging out with us. And then we got BioT-Wolf 19 with the 5. What is a scarecrow's favorite fruit? A strawberry. It's getting painful. It's getting painful, man. St. Hugo with a 2. Can you hear the sound in the brackets? I can. I can. Is that a Metal Gear Solid reference? I absolutely can, if that's what you're talking about. I can't even mimic the sound, but you all know exactly the kind of sound that we're talking about whenever the enemy discovers you. And then the music plays. It's pretty awesome. Then we got Dragon with a $10 banger. Says Nintendo is saying, I'm the games. Take that, Italian Malaccio. Turn him sideways and stick your candy ass. That's insane. That's pretty hardcore. I'm not going to lie to you. Adair Soto gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to Adair Soto. And then we got Bud, Mr. Bud himself, with the 5 membership banger. Cover your... Shout out to Bud. Thank you so much for the 5 membership banger. You absolute legend. You didn't have to do that, but you did. And I appreciate it, man. We are getting greener than green lately. There was like a crazy membership train on Griffcast the other day. Fucking GDR dropped a 50 membership banger. It was absolutely insane. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you, man. Thank you. We got Anti-Federalist Pain. Wow, this feels weird reading an Anti-Federalist Pain super chat on YouTube. But I'm glad you're here. I am glad you're here. Anti-Federalist Pain with a 5 says, a recent study has found that the majority of strippers don't strip for the money. They do it for the exposure. You don't say. You don't say. Then we got Shion with $4.99. Says, what song did Kata sang to a group of women in Vegas? Hi ho, into the cave I go. Oh, he's not going to be happy about that one. He's not going to be happy about that one. He already hates the clip that I use. He's not going to be happy about that. Then we got Flip Shazam with a $10 banger. Says, we'll be watching on work computer and not signed in. I've got a hockey playoff rager and using phone that, and coworker abandoned me for his stupid wife's birthday. So have to work. This guy said his stupid wife. How dare you celebrate your wife's birthday, you piece of shit? You terrible friend. That's fucking amazing, bro. Oh, man. Shout out to you, Flip Shazam. I appreciate you. And I'm sorry your friend abandoned you for his stupid wife. I'm sorry. Louis Vecino with a 2. That's why Yoda 13 needs his money shot. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Asura for 10 months. Did you finally get Furin Volume Collection from Crunchyroll Store? Comes with a nice sleeve. I did not. And the reason why is because I have been on a pretty crazy out-of-print manga hunt. I've been looking for out-of-print manga a lot. And I've been finding some pretty good finds. So to be honest with you, a lot of the new stuff I've kind of slowed down a little bit on. Aside from a couple like deluxe editions that I picked up recently and whatnot. But yes, eventually I will get it. I will get it. Don't worry. Yamato with a 2. Let's make Magical Bigot Hypnotic a thing for tier 3. What the hell is Magical Bigot Hypnotic? What would that even look like? What are you going to grow? Fairy wings? Am I going to grow fairy wings or something? Briar with a 5. Cyber Rider getting the money shot was so wild. Even YouTube chat AI had to mention it. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. Did you tag me on Twitter with that? No, that would be insane. That would be fucking insane. If you got that, tag me. Tag me on that. I have to see that. That would be hilarious. Poor Cyber Rider, man. Cyber Rider was literally just trying to like have a conversation. Like that's all she was trying to do, man. She was trying to have a conversation. You guys are like, wait, here, take a money shot. And then now the AI's like, well, indubitably, Cyber Rider just received what they would call the money shot on the Hypnotic cast. You know, something super ridiculous. Shout out to you. And then we got Anime Mania 500 with a 1 Hypnotic membership. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And then we got Cidavir's Fish with a 2. If we're talking about feet picks, I have Cidavir's. I am positive that Kata would love to see it. I'm sure Kata would absolutely adore some feet picks. So you can send him over his way. And then we got Super Kitty gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to Super Kitty. Thank you so much. And then we got, last but not least, Valkyrie over on YouTube because there's nowhere else. For 3 months, did you hear about the new Disney movie where Bambi, Simba, and Dumbo take the same high school English class? It's called Dead Parent Society. Oh my God. Oh my God, bro. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Oh my God. Are you serious? That's insane. Holy shit. Dead Parent Society. Wow. Too dark. No, I loved it. It takes a moment for it to register. It takes a moment for it to register. How amazing that is. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you for the 3 months membership. All right, boys. Well, we don't have to catch up with Rumble because unfortunately Rumble's not around today. So we could get right into the content, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to you for the amazing pre-stream legends. It was fantastic. All right, boys. So we're going to cover some smaller topics first, and then we are going to get into the main topic, which is obviously about Nintendo and the EULA changes and all of the nonsense that they've been doing lately. And it's all tied to Power World. You know, Power World really forced Nintendo to make a lot of changes. Power World woke up what was essentially a lazy, sleeping giant that was Nintendo, that was so complacent over the last 20 some odd years that they just got woken up by a company that sold over 10 million copies of a video game that they should have made in 1 month. But that's besides the point. Like I said, I got a deep dive coming out tomorrow about that, so please make sure you check it out. All right, first topic. This is an interesting one. I might do a deep dive on this one and do a dedicated video over it, but I haven't decided if I want to do it yet. It all depends. But I find the information to be very interesting, and I'm sure I could tie it to a lot of interesting things, let's just say. So we have a former BioWare lead says that Dragon Age the Veilguard team was being jerked around due to EA's disinterest in the franchise of Dragon Age. Mark Dara says that 2017 might have been the most impactful 12 months in the studio's entire history. So now it went from the game is a success, the game is amazing, to the game might have problems, to the game is definitely flawed, to the game is a failure, to the game is a failure, but the studio's fine, to now the studio's being shut down and people are being fired and being moved everywhere, to now it's not anybody's fault except for EA's fault. So we have come full circle from Dragon Age the Veilguard is a massive success, and you're a bigot if you don't agree, to Dragon Age the Veilguard was a massive failure, and now it's all because of EA's fault. Holy shit, that is an amazing circle of life we just experienced in the last, 6 months or so, give or take. So anyway, let's check this out. So former Dragon Age series executive producer Mark Dara says that he doesn't feel that EA and BioWare had efficiently supported the studio during the development and the early development of Dragon Age the Veilguard. The ex-BioWare developer shed light on his time working on the legendary fantasy RPG franchise during a recent video uploaded to his YouTube channel. His story recounts events that transpired throughout 2017, or, according to Mike Dara, the most impactful 12 months in BioWare's history. He touches on not only decisions that affected the early development of last year's Dragon Age game, but how a change in attitude was tied to the final days of development on Mass Effect Andromeda. So my thing is, these people will do anything in order to take the blame off of the ones who should be blamed in the first place, which are the ones who developed the game, which was the game director who mismanaged the entire project. You guys want so desperately to avoid pointing blame at Corin Bush because their trans identity is meant to protect them, but ultimately it still comes down onto Corin Bush. Corin Bush was the director of Dragon Age The Veilguard. Corin Bush has blame in the reason why things were mismanaged. You guys had over 10 years to develop a video game. Are you seriously blaming EA for the entirety of the 10 years? I'm not saying EA is perfect. Obviously, EA, I'm sure, had a lot of problems related to them in the development of Dragon Age The Veilguard, but are you seriously trying to not blame the team that was behind the game itself? I just think that's a little bit disingenuous. The voice in the water says, no, they didn't mismanage it. They gave everyone what they wanted. They just didn't know what they wanted. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. So then it says it starts in late 2016 when Darrow was moved over to the team that would handle the last stages of development on Andromeda. He says his feeling at the time was that the Dragon Age team felt jerked around and had no support from BioWare or EA. Wasn't this the same guy that said that EA plays favorites with Mass Effect? Was it him? I want to say it was, but I'm not exactly super sure yet. I don't remember, quite frankly, but I think it was Dara. It was him, right? It was him. Dara said that EA played favorites with Mass Effect. So I'm not surprised that he is now trying to shift blame to EA for what happened to Dragon Age, but whatever. Anyway, he says they had no support from BioWare or from BioWare or EA. How would you have no support from BioWare as the team that's working on Dragon Age? I don't get it. You guys are BioWare. The hope was that Dara could aim in getting Mass Effect out the door so the next Dragon Age could utilize more resources, though this ultimately didn't quite pan out. This was the first time where he had this leadership discontinuity, where the person in charge of a project left that project to help someone else, some other project, while the project continued to run. Dara explained, in the case of Mass Effect Andromeda, I don't think the impact of Dragon Age was huge. It wasn't very long, but it did set this precedent as this being a thing that we could do. Okay, and it's not a good thing to do. It is incredibly dangerous to have the project run while it's missing some of its core leadership. But, okay, so we already know Andromeda was an absolute garbage, like shit show. We already know that, right? Andromeda, when it released, it was mean to hell because everybody knows my face is tired. Like, those kind of memes, we all know that already. So I'm not going to bring up Andromeda again as much as he wants to bring it up. It really doesn't have any precedence here. You guys had 10 years of development to figure something out with Dragon Age The Veilguard. It wasn't even Dragon Age The Veilguard. It was Dragon Age Dreadwolf, which is what people really wanted. That's what it sounded like anyway. When we heard about Dreadwolf and we saw snippets of Dreadwolf before it became this purple and pink nightmare, people were looking forward to Dreadwolf. But in any case, Mass Effect Andromeda launched in 2017, and in Dara's own words, it doesn't go well. Throughout this time, BioWare was still adjusting to a structural change that says the team reporting to a new leadership at EA that was hyper interested in his projects and plans. He calls the change dramatic, noting that the studio's new bosses weren't interested in continuing work on Mass Effect due to its recently troubled launch. However, Dara didn't feel like Dragon Age was getting the support it needed, even after Andromeda was shipped. So he's trying to claim that BioWare or Dragon Age in general did not get any support, even though Mass Effect Andromeda released and bombed. I got to imagine that EA was probably looking at this like, okay, we messed up with Andromeda. Let's use Dragon Age to try to bring us back and return to form. So you mean to tell me you guys really didn't get all the support in the world? Come on. I have a little bit of a hard time believing that. The former BioWare lead says he approached current EA CEO Andrew Wilson. Oh, we're name dropping people now. Oh, this is going to be good. We're name dropping people. And former EA executive Patrick Sutherland with his concerns and was reassured of Dragon Age's importance to the company, which is exactly what I said. While EA offered few resources in an attempt to maintain the studio's work in the summer of 2017, Dara, alongside with the rest of the BioWare staff, were told that studio veteran Casey Hudson would in fact be returning. It was a major shakeup that staff was made aware of without notice. So Anthem was in between them. Makes sense. Makes sense. And Anthem felt to them as well. So it makes sense why why this company has been, I guess the word I'm looking for is like run through the mud, or at the very least on very thin ice, very thin resources. BioWare hasn't made pretty much any money aside from royalties on older projects for the last 10 years or so, give or take. They've made zero money because they were too busy just getting ruined by their failure projects that have been coming out. But in any case, he says, you have to remember, I'm the second most senior person at BioWare. Dara said Casey was interviewed and hired and prepared to be brought back entirely without me being consulted in any way. Would me having been involved in the process have changed the decision? No, I don't think it would have. But there is an immense amount of disrespect involved in making a hire of this impact and making a decision of this importance without involving the second most senior person at your studio in any way. So they basically had no faith in you. They had no faith in you that they didn't even want to bring up the fact that they were bringing back Casey. Chances are they probably wanted to replace you with Casey. I got to imagine, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Dara then predicted that BioWare would shift his focus to Anthem. When his concerns were shared with EA, he was told that leadership was committed to giving Dragon Age the attention it deserves. As we all know, that's not what happened at all, he added. So he's basically angry that he got secondary resources, that he wasn't told about anything happening regarding Casey, and he was angry that Anthem got more resources seemingly than BioWare, because Anthem was supposed to be their next big thing. It was supposed to be their next big IP. It was something brand new out of BioWare, and people were excited for it. It ultimately failed, but people were still excited about it. Kata says, father is here. That's pretty gay. So it seems to me that he's kind of like an ex-girlfriend that has been scorned and now can't seem to give it up, can't seem to like get over it. That's the kind of actions that we're getting here ultimately at the end of the day. And then he says Dragon Age Veilguard would go on to release in late 2024 as BioWare's latest AAA fantasy RPG. Despite positive reviews from critics, we gave it a 9 out of 10 in our review. EA painted its launch. How are you feeling, by the way, IGN, about that 9 out of 10? How are you feeling about that, by the way? Do you still feel like that was fairly accurate? Interesting. EA painted its launch as a letdown, saying in February that it failed to resonate with a broad enough audience. These were comments from former BioWare developers later pushed back on, with some suggesting the company should follow the lead set up by Baldur's Gate 3 developer Larian Studios, which I agree with that. Many Dragon Age developers were laid off in January of this year as the studio shifted its focus back to Mass Effect 5. So, again, I found this story to be hilarious. I think it's a coping session by somebody who used to work on Dragon Age Veilguard. I think it's a massive coping session. I think it's one of many sessions that we have seen from their developers. Like this particular article says, there has been BioWare developers that push back on the fact that the game was a failure and didn't resonate with players. They actually pushed back on that. Imagine being BioWare and working over there on Dragon Age Veilguard and pretending as if Veilguard was anything even remotely close to successful. But you had plenty of people that were trying to say, actually, this is a commercial success. You know that meme? They were trying to do it with Veilguard. They tried to do it with Shadows. They tried to do it with all the typical ideology video games that have to succeed in front of everybody's eyes, right? You guys don't understand. For them, it's not about being actually successful. It's about convincing people that you are actually successful. That's all it is. It's like the poor man who buys a Rolex to convince everybody else that he has money when he's fucking broke. Right? It's the same exact thing. Dragon Age Veilguard, Assassin's Creed Shadows, they spend their entire time trying to be like, actually, I'm very successful. Like, that's what they try to do. But that's not what they are. If you were actually successful, you would do what Expedition 33 is doing, which is announcing how many copies you have sold. That's what you would be doing. But quite frankly, you have yet to do that, and you never will do that with your video games. So actually, you kind of look like a failure. But who's really counting at the end of the day? But in any case, that's basically it for that particular topic. Let's move on to the next one. So we got talk about coping session. Wait. So Randy Pitchford for Borderlands 4, man. Borderlands 4 is having, I don't even know what to even say, man. Borderlands 4 is having a situation where these developers that are working on this game are basically begging you at this point to please give it a chance, even though many people have essentially made up their mind whether or not they're going to play it or not based off the last couple of trailers. You have some of the diehard people that are like, yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. But a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm kind of out, man. I've been out of Borderlands since 3, right? A lot of people feel that way, but Tiny Tina did not help that at all. Obviously, Tiny Tina was, we won't talk about Tiny Tina, but anyway. So Randy Pitchford is now asking fans to please play the game first before judging Borderlands 4's apparent new mini-map-free HUD. So they're not going to be putting a mini-map on the heads-up display in Borderlands 4, confirmed by the CEO, and says, we want you to play the game, not play the map. Borderlands fans noticed that instead of the mini-map introduced in Borderlands 2, the recent Borderlands 4 gameplay deep dive features a compass bar that points towards objectives. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford confirmed that the mini-map is gone during a PAX East panel on Friday and asked fans to hold judgment until they've played the game. The map talk starts at about 28 minutes into the video. We're not going to watch that. Borderlands 4 takes place on a new planet, Kairos, and boasts the biggest map the Borderlands series has ever seen by far, according to Pitchford. Now, keep in mind, Borderlands maps have always been multi-leveled. So the reason why people like to use the map is because that way you can understand whether or not you're on the first level, second level. It's a multi-layered map. If they're taking that away, then chances are the maps are going to be designed in most likely a more simplistic fashion. Can't confirm that. I just gotta imagine that's probably where they're gonna go, unless they really want people to just run around a little bit lost. And I don't really know how that's gonna work out. There's no load times. Just you see something anywhere on the screen a mile away up in the sky, you will be able to get there. They keep pushing. It's interesting. They keep pushing this no load time thing. And I wonder why they're doing that. I guess it's because Tiny Tina had so many loading zones that people complained about it. But loading zones have always been a thing in Borderlands. You've always had zones. So I don't know why this is becoming such a big marketing tactic for them. But, I mean, they're doing it anyway. So it is what it is at this point. You will be able to get there, said the CEO, echoing Todd Howard's famous line about seeing mountains in Skyrim and walking up them. Although I've never quite understood why that promise came to signify exaggerated claims, because you could, in fact, explore Skyrim's mountains. We made a big freaking world, Pitchford said, regarding the decision not to include a minimap. And a lot of things you could do can be local space, but a lot of things you could do or want to do are out there in the larger world. And a local space map is not a good way to navigate when you're thinking about objectives and opportunities. Several at the same time that might be miles away, and a compass really helps us do that. So, yeah, I mean, so Pharaoh's saying, he says, nah, I think it's just we want people to see the pretty art and not look at the map BS. I can definitely understand that. I can understand that because there are some good games out there that do not utilize a minimap, right? So I'm not like totally hating on the idea, but what I'm saying is one of their marketing standpoints, right? One of their marketing standpoints that they've been pushing really hard is that they are returning to what makes Borderlands Borderlands, and they're returning to what people love about the initial first two Borderlands. That's what they've been saying in all of their marketing promo. So now you're saying you're going to do that, but then you're also removing something that's been in the game since the beginning. So now you're taking away the minimap. People are going to start questioning, well, what else are you taking away? What else you might be changing, right? Are we returning to form, or are we just doing things completely different? I don't know. I think it's a fair question to ask, but I definitely get it. At this point, I don't know if people are going to be necessarily happy about this that are fans of Borderlands, but ultimately this may not be a super big deal for a lot of people. Maybe we'll see. So then it says that Pitchford also said that 2D minimaps can be confusing in multi-level environments, which we already know Borderlands has multi-level environments. I don't think it's confusing at all. I think it's actually pretty good. Like 2D minimaps, if you know how to read them, they're pretty good. But anyway, you're going to have more verticality in Borderlands 4 than you've ever seen before in a Borderlands game, by far. Oh, so they're promising it's going to be hardcore multi-level maps. Okay. The compass uses little arrows to indicate when a target is above or below you. And the hope is that this is better for spatial awareness. We want you to play the game and not play the map. So we made a commitment and we pull all of that investment into the compass system, and you still have the big map. It's one click away, and we could put more cool stuff in there than we've ever done before. We even have like an AI-driven kind of navigation system that will give you a GPS on the big map to show you the line of where you can go. So again, at this point, they're making some clear changes. Whether or not it's going to be better or worse for the game, time is going to tell. But I'm sure that it's going to be controversial to remove the minimap. I'm sure some people, when they find out about it, they might be a little irked. But again, I don't think there's going to be a big enough deal to want to make them, or to make that certain player avoid the game entirely. I guess we'll see. Using the map is playing the game. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But again, I guess they don't want you to do that. What the hell? Chaotic Holy says, oops, kitchen is on fire. Be right back. What the hell? Bro, go put out the fire in your kitchen. Go put out. You better put that fire out, boy. What the hell's going? People's kitchens are on fire while watching Hypnocast. What the fuck is going on here? All right. Anyway, that's funny, dude. That's funny. All right, a couple of more quick topics, and then we'll catch up on super chats and get to the main stuff. Because I want to hit all these topics, man. There's a lot going on. I'm trying my best to hit all of them. I see all your super chats. Thank you guys. I appreciate you very much. We're gonna get to them. Just give me a minute, I promise. Overwatch developers at Blizzard apparently have formed a new union, and it's called the Overwatch Game Makers Guild, because that's not the gayest name I've ever heard. The Communication Workers of America says Microsoft has already recognized the union. 200 developers at Activision Blizzard have formed a new union under the Communications Worker of America called the Overwatch Game Makers Guild, a wall-to-wall unit that includes game developers across all disciplines, including design, production, engineering, art, sound, and quality assurance. The announcement of the new union followed confirmation from a neutral arbitrator that an overwhelming majority of employees had either signed a union authorization card or indicated support for unionization online. The CWA says Microsoft has recognized the union officially. So one thing I've noticed, and I'm sure a lot of you guys perhaps have noticed this too, is that since the massive rise in layoffs in the gaming industry over the last year or two, in 2024 all the way now to 2025, there has been a lot more unionization that is happening in the gaming industry because they are trying everything they possibly can to protect their jobs from accountability. This is what they're doing. And I know there are some people that like unions. There are some people that hate unions. I'm kind of indifferent on them. But one thing I do know is that they do tend to enable, unfortunately, some of the lazier people that take advantage of the union and of the system. This is what they're trying to do in the gaming industry. They're trying to unionize because that way it could protect them from what they know is eventually going to come their way, which is going to be layoffs if they continue to do the nonsense that they've been doing that's been getting them in trouble since the beginning anyway. You know, it's like it's the most ridiculous thing. But you know what? Whatever. At this point, it's a small story. I just wanted to share it with you. But I am curious how this is going to play out in the future, considering Microsoft now owns Activision Blizzard and they're just this one, like, they're one big conglomerate, right? I wonder how this is going to affect things in the future. Time is going to tell. This is a story that's going to evolve over time. But I am very curious because unionized workers are obviously a lot harder to hold accountable. They're a lot harder to fire. They're a lot harder to get rid of. So I guess we will see what's going on. Genetic Spores says unions are no longer needed. If you do your job right and well, you won't need to worry about being fired. I agree with that. 100%. But, you know, it's kind of like whenever I think of unions, I think of teachers. And the reason why is because I think teachers, especially city teachers, they are some of the most like hardcore unionized groups out there. And some of their benefits are insane, right? Like I've researched this stuff. And like teachers, if they are tenured, some of them, like you damn near can't fire them unless they diddle a kid at this point. Like it takes, most of the time they end up practicing what is very popular in Japan, believe it or not. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. In Japan, they are heavily against firing people. They don't like to fire people. They want to make you quit instead. So what ends up happening with teachers is that if they do something bad, they don't fire them. They put them in what's called the rubber room. And then they essentially just work their day in total fucking solitary confinement. It is designed to make you want to quit instead of having to fire you. Japan does the same exact thing. Japan does literally the same exact thing. Matt Stanford says, bad example, Hypnotic. Check out what's happening in the Buffalo school system right now. What's going on with that? Is that a recent thing? Again, I'm only going based off the knowledge that I've had for a few years about different things that I've seen. But Japan is 100% like that, though. What is going on in the Buffalo school systems? Can anybody tell me, or am I going to have to look it up? I'm going to have to look it up. Let's see. Buffalo school system. Let's see. Detectives Detective accuses Buffalo schools of abuse cover-up. Is that what I'm looking at right now? Oh, shit. That's crazy. Buffalo public schools respond to allegations of not reporting sexual assaults. Wow. Wow. That's pretty hardcore now. Damn, we are going into some crazy territory right now. Hold on. I'll bring up the headline so you guys can read it. Wow. Buffalo public schools respond to allegations of not reporting sexual assault abuse. Buffalo Public Schools responded to accusation on Saturday by police detective on a podcast that the school intentionally does not report the abuse. Detective Richard High took to the Unsubscribed podcast, which is based out of Texas and has around 679,000 on YouTube, to make the accusations. While on the podcast, he alleged that BPS intentionally did not report sexual assaults between students, deleted a video of an attempted abduction of what? Wow, deleted a video of an attempted abduction of 2 young children. That's crazy. That's crazy. Holy shit. Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, while this is a thing, it still is true that teachers, for the most part, are absolutely protected, usually. And it ends up being a situation with unions where it becomes very difficult to fire people. And again, this is why in Japan, they try to make you quit. They do the same exact thing. They put you in like solitary confinement rooms. They put you in rooms to try to make you bored, to try to make you frustrated, to try to make you quit, because they much rather have you quit than fire you. It is very rare for someone to be fired in Japan. Very rare. But in any case, very interesting conversation. So I would like to see more about how this is going to affect Microsoft in the future, because you guys already know all these companies have been doing layoffs like crazy. All of them. I haven't even checked my layoff list. Hold on. Let me see. Let me check my layoff list. What are we at right now? So this was last updated 2 days ago. Let's check the layoff list. 2 days ago. The last one that was added was Mainframe Industries, which fired 17 people. 17 people got fired. Then you got Electronic Arts firing over 300. Respawn Entertainment firing over 100. Reality Labs from Meta firing over 100. So we're at well over 2,200 firings. We are well over 2,200 firings in this entire industry, and we are only a couple of months into 2025. Pretty bad. So we know that there's more firings that are going to come. There's more firings that are on the way. So now that this union is there and more people in the gaming industry are doing unions, I wonder how this is going to affect that particular part of the gaming industry. I guess time's going to tell. We'll find out. Okay. Let's see. What else? We got this. Oh, people. Hold on. Let me see something. Let me see something really quick. So apparently, I don't know if this is true. Let me see. That's pretty crazy. So, okay. So apparently, when it comes to Doom the Dark Ages, it looks like Nintendo is not the only one that is doing digital key cards. Apparently now it's becoming a thing for other companies as well. Doom the Dark Ages physical edition is still going to require that you download the full game in order to be able to play. You are not going to be able to play the game at all from just the disc itself, even though that is the actual full physical edition, which is starting to become a thing. It says, before purchasing a physical copy of Doom, users should be aware of a catch with the download process. Let me see. It says not everyone will want to wait until the official release date. Check out the early access guide. The reporter from Stealth revealed that the physical edition of the Doom The Dark Ages is basically a Switch 2 key card without being on Switch 2. There is a little data on the disc, but the majority needs to be downloaded and can't be played from the physical media alone. So this is becoming a thing. And I think it's going to continue to become a thing. I think that this is going to be, unfortunately, as much as I hate to say it, I think this is going to become the norm. It's sad, but it's true. This is going to become the norm. Nintendo Switch 2 is trying to make this the norm, and it looks like Xbox and PlayStation is trying to make this the norm as well. There's going to be little to no reason to have physical media outside of this, just like the collector's aspect. They so desperately want to control you. They so desperately want to control what you own. They don't want you to actually own much of anything. So they're doing this in order to allow them to get you into the ecosystem they want you in. They don't want you to be able to put the disc in and boot up the game. Even if you don't download a day one patch, for example, they don't want you to be able to boot up the game from a disc by itself. They want to be able to take that shit away from you at any given time, which is really fucking sad. Which is really sad. So, but in any case, I just wanted to cover that because I thought it was stupid. All right. Last but not least, and then we're getting into the Nintendo news. We're going through all the topics today, boys. This is the big one. I'm excited about this one. So I talked about this story ages ago. I talked about it when it was rumored that he was being removed. I talked about it when it was rumored that Tony Hawk got involved and made it happen. Then I talked about it when it was rumored that Tony Hawk actually didn't make it happen and that he wasn't going to be in the game because they just don't want him in the game. Well, now it's officially been confirmed 100% that Bam Margera actually is going to be in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. They added him in at the last minute, and you could tell because they made him a secret skater. They made him a secret skater. Bam Margera has officially been confirmed to be in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 after months of speculation and rumors. Again, this has been going on for a long time. Original rumors suggested that Bam Margera had been cut from the game initially, but that Tony Hawk himself made sure that he would be included. The news came via the official Tony Hawk Pro Skater YouTube channel, where Bam Margera himself confirmed the news. You can watch the video below. We'll watch it in a second. In the video, it shows Bam getting his face shot ready for the animation inside the game. Margera on the game's previous title said, the second Tony Hawk game, I was so obsessed with playing the game that I was missing fights over it. Or flights, sorry, not fights. Although there were probably fights too. You're going to miss another flight, they said. I'm like, shut up, I'm going to win. Finally, after missing 6 flights, I'm like, I got to put this thing away. Because this game is just too much fun. So far, Margera has appeared in 7 Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, starting with the original Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 in 2001. His last appearance was in 2007's Tony Hawk's Proving Ground. So again, as stated by Margera himself, he's been skating for 37 years. So again, this is huge. This is huge. Let me bring it up on YouTube so we can watch it really quick, and then we'll get into the super chats and then the Nintendo stuff. We're flying along, boys. We're flying along. Here's the video from Bam Margera. Here we go.
I'm Bam Margera from Westchester, Pennsylvania, and I've been skating for 39 years. The second Tony Hawk game, I was so obsessed with playing the game that I was...
Wait, did he say he's been skating for 39 years? Didn't Insider Gaming just say that he was skating for 37 years, or did I read that wrong? Did I read that wrong? Are we serious? Like, you can't even get that right?
Missing flights over it. You're going to miss another flight. I'm like, shut up, I'm going to win. Finally, after missing 6 flights, I'm like, I got to put this thing away because this game is just too much fun.
He looks so different. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys. People get old. It is what it is. And this guy has led a very rough life. Very rough life. A lot of drugs, a lot of liquor, I'm sure. Very rough on the body. Ironically, he's looking more and more like his dad. You guys remember his dad? He's looking and sounding a hell of a lot like his dad.
Because most sports games is hitting a ball back and forth until the ball gets past you. This game, you could grind the house, you could grind up that pole, you could go down a handrail, you could do endless amounts of things. And everybody from grandpa to a young kid can love this game.
I'm actually really excited he's going to be in the game. I'm pretty excited. This game got gifted to me ages ago. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. I was a little bummed when I thought that Bam wasn't going to be in the game because he was one of my favorite skaters back then. Yeah, you feel old. Yeah, a game like this is gonna make you feel old for sure. When you see someone like fucking Bam Margera, who I remember watching on MTV, bro. Like that's how old. That's how old like we're talking. It's insane. But yeah, I'm excited. So let's finish the video really quick. Hold on.
I'm gonna have to let myself play video games again because this one will be well worth it. If I start missing flights again, I know where to put it.
Damn, man. Insane. It's coming out July 11th, 2025. So that's exciting. And I'm glad that it's all resolved. Now we could dispel all the rumors. We could dispel all the, you know, all the fucking like, all the headlines were all over the place. People didn't know whether or not he was going to be in the game. Now we know for 100% fact that he's going to be in the game. So there you go. No more questioning that. All right, let's catch up on Super Chats, and then we are going to get into the Nintendo content, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we want. This is what we want. All right, so let's see. What do we got? Let me scroll down. Scroll down. Here we go. We got Mr. Melancholy with a 5. Bush is off to another studio to ruin while they're trying to deflect accountability. Don't you just love failing upwards? So Corin Bush actually works now for a company that's under Wizards of the Coast. So there's a lot of rumors and speculation over what Corin Bush could be working on now, but we don't actually know 100% for sure just yet. But we have some ideas. There's been some leaks. There's been some rumors. We have some ideas. Briere with a 10. I put the screenshot of it in the replies of your live video on X. I've never really posted on X much, so I figured that'll be the easiest way for you to see it. Okay. Let's see what we got under the live of X. Oh, I see it. Cyber Rider, if you're still in the chat, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I'm so sorry the chat did this to you. Viewers are discussing a recent controversial incident with the streamer Cyber Rider. The money shot was a controversial incident with Cyber Rider. Cyber Rider, do you agree that was a controversial incident? That's insane. Anything to avoid calling it the money shot, bro. That is wild, man. This AI summary thing is hilarious. The other day we had a funny one too, and this is just a funny one. Cyber Rider says it's cool. All right, cool. Very cool. The chat did it. Wasn't me. Shout out, man. That's funny. Thank you, Briar. I appreciate that. We got P Drake becoming a member all on their own. Shout out to P Drake. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And then we got Seed and Heard for 6 months dropping titties in the chat. Let's get your titty check going right now. We got Eric Jenkins with a 199. Bro, what a puss. Just admit y'all failed and moved on. Yeah, they're never gonna do that. Like you're sincerely asking them to move on from Dragon Age of Veilguard, their ideological baby, right? That's the video game that these fucking psychos have been waiting to make for years. And now they're trying to pass blame to everybody else except themselves. When deep down, you know for a fact, when they hit release for that game, they were so proud of themselves. They thought they changed the world. They thought they changed the fucking world with that game, only for them to get wrecked the moment that game went live. But you know they were happy about it. They probably talk about it at dinner. They probably got a fucking memorial for Taj somewhere in the corner with their pronouns or some shit. We got Mr. Melancholy with a 5. What the fuck? Are we having different sized titties in the chat? We got big, we got small. Hey, that's proper representation. That is proper representation. We need to represent all sizes of titties in the chat. All sizes. So good job, chat. Good job. Mr. Melancholy with a 5 says Randy Bitchford, Mr. Magic Show. I thought this guy left Gearbox to pursue his stupid interest in magic. Apparently not. Apparently not. So we got P Drake gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to P. Drake. Thank you so much. And then we got Dragon with a 5. Bruh, I discovered mountains by jumping on them. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Then we got Vanguard Commander with a $20 bank. Shout out to Vanguard Commander with a mega $20 banger. He says, Hypnotic, today is mine. Oh, it's his birthday. It's his birthday. Hold on. Everybody wish Vanguard. You probably did already, but everybody wish Vanguard Commander again. Happy birthday. Shout out to you, man. He says it was nice to be able to spend money like crazy for these past 2 days. No more waifu battles for a while, but I had my fun and we'll be chilling. Hey, you don't got to spend money to hang out here, bro. I appreciate you. The rest of the chat got it down. Don't worry about it. Thank you so much for everything. The waifu battles were hilarious. You did a great job in them. And happy birthday, dude. I hope you enjoy it. What are you doing for your birthday other than hanging out with us, apparently? Go fucking eat some dinner or something. We got Seen and Heard with a 2. It's all Microsoft's fault, clearly. Clearly, it's all Microsoft's fault. People are saying I'm so far behind. Well, no. So here's the thing. My streams, I like to segment them. I actually like to be organized. I don't let the stream get derailed by a bunch of super chats. And I like to do super chat catch-ups in between topics. So that's why it's behind, because if I were to just focus on super chats, we'd probably never have a stream, which would benefit me monetarily. But from a content perspective, not exactly the greatest thing. Seen and Heard, again, thank you for the 2. We got Eric Jenkins with 199. LOL, look up the AI summary. I did. It's ridiculous. James Obb with a 5. White-collar unions are pointless, especially in the fields of IT and software development. Entire studios getting deleted. Nothing saves you from that. Fair enough. I mean, at this point, and I'm sure there's going to be many different opinions about it, but when it comes to EULA, they only go so far. And sure, they do protect companies for the most part, but there's been situations where the EULA has been overruled for whatever reason that may be. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened before. We got Butter Biscuit for 7 months. Says, bro, are you playing Berserker tonight? I'm going to try. I have to finish my video. I haven't finished editing my video, but I have to. I'm going to try because I'm on the final boss. I'm about to complete the first Berserker, so I'm actually super excited about that. And then we got Lavistro with a $20 banger. Everybody cover your ears. Lavistro for a $20 banger says this because the Driven lawsuit. If you own the game and they shut it down, they will have to refund your money. Hence, the EULA is saying you agree you don't own your games. Look at Section 4 of Oblivion's remastered EULA. Well, yeah, no, 100%. This is... I get that. I understand the changes that are being made to EULAs recently, especially. A lot of companies are changing their end user license agreements because they realize due to other class action lawsuits that companies have gone through that perhaps they have to change up the wording in order to protect themselves. A lot of people genuinely do not read the EULA. This is why when we break the news and we talk about things like that, everybody's like super shocked, right? Even though this stuff has been happening for a while with multiple different companies. It's still shocking to people. So 100%, I get what you're saying, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the 20, bro. And then we got Randall Hess with a 10. For the most part, without physical editions, consoles are pointless to me. 100%. 100%. BioT Wolf 19 with a 2. Don't feed Phil. God, I remember that. Remember when Bam, I think Bam paid for a billboard for it to say "Don't feed Phil." Remember that? I remember all that. The Goon Room with a 2. My P burns. Rumble be lame, so I'm here, I guess. Yeah, I'm sad that I'm not on Rumble, man. I'm sad I'm not on Rumble. We usually get like 60 to 100 concurrent viewers on Rumble, and I'm missing out on all that because fucking DDoS attacks and nonsense. It's so stupid. I'm sorry your P burns, by the way. You should probably get that checked out for sure. You should probably get that checked out. Okay, we are fully caught up everywhere, boys. Let's get into the main topic. Let's drink some water. Hold on. All right. let's get into the topic, boys. So, man, we got Nintendo. And again, if you guys want a deep dive into Nintendo's litigious history, what they're doing with Power World and what they're doing with the EULA, I have a video that's coming out tomorrow at 11 o'clock. It's going to be about 20 some odd minutes long, deep diving into all this shit. Okay. So I'm not going to be able to do all of it today on the stream, but make sure to check out that video 11 a.m. tomorrow or whatever time you can. Click it, whatever time you can. It's going to be available throughout the whole day, obviously. So Nintendo has changed their EULA. Okay. Let's bring this up because this is pretty important. This is important stuff. People should know about it. Nintendo changed their EULA. EULA stands for End User License Agreement, in case anybody didn't know that. Now, this is not the first company to change their EULA. It's not going to be the last, right? And these companies are trying to reach more and more into the zone of ridiculous in order to try to not only control what you own, control what you purchase, but to protect them from pretty much anything, right? Not that it's going to, but they try to, right? They try to. So we have an article here from Insider Gaming, and I'm going to bring up some other things too, so just bear with me. Nintendo is trying to stop you from filing lawsuits against them with new EULA agreement. So if we actually dive into some of the changes in the EULA, it's not that they're trying to stop you from suing them, period. They just know that the loophole that they put into their EULA, 99.9% of dumb people are never going to actually be able to sue them because of the time limit that they put on it. So check out this very interesting information. Let me see if it has it here. Okay, so spotted on Nintendo via Games Radar, Nintendo has amended the EULA to feature a class action waiver in Section 16, which is hilarious, by the way, because Nintendo is the company that sues everybody and your mother and your entire lineage. But that's neither here nor there. The new section in the agreement makes users agree that they will resolve all arbitration with Nintendo solely on an individual basis and not as a class arbitration, class action, or any kind of representative proceeding. By agreeing to Section 16, both Nintendo and the user will waive the right to trial by jury. So they want to stop you from having the ability to take them to court in a class action lawsuit of any kind. This is actually what I believe Disney tried to do as well. But then here, it gets even more hilarious, by the way. Nintendo wants players to find other ways to resolve disputes, such as using customer service. Oh, because clearly using customer service has worked out so much in the past when you are so felted by a company that you feel like you want to sue them, right? So you mean to tell me these class action lawsuits should essentially just be handled by customer service? Are we serious right now? Their customer service will address players' concerns related to the Nintendo account services and can be contacted through phone, email, and regular mail. Nintendo added, most matters can be quickly resolved in this manner to our customer satisfaction. Listen, I don't think anybody that is angry at Nintendo for anything account related or game related is going to want to sue them, right? Chances are it's going to go above and beyond that, which then customer service is not going to be able to handle, nor should they. This is just basically the dumbest shit that I've ever seen in my life. And then it says, here's the best part. This is the most ridiculous part right here. It says, however, users can opt out of the arbitration requirement of Section 16 in Nintendo's EULA by sending a written notice to Nintendo of America's address in Washington within 30 days of agreeing to the EULA. Once the letter has been sent, Nintendo and the user will settle claims in accordance with Section 18. So they're going to try to give you an option to write yourself out of the agreement for the EULA, but you have to agree to it first. You have to agree to it first and then opt out of it afterwards. Like, these people are smoking some really good shit, man. I don't know what Nintendo of America is smoking, but it must be good. Then here we go. Section 18 of Nintendo's EULA states that all claims, including the ones Nintendo has on the user, violating its intellectual property rights, shall be subject to and governed by, construed, and interpreted in accordance with the laws of the state of Washington, United States of America, except for its conflict of law rules. Moreover, any arbitration which is not subject to Section 16 will not be heard in small claims court and has to be resolved exclusively in the state and federal courts located in King County, Washington, USA. Both Nintendo and the user will have to waive any objection to venue in the courts identified in this Section 18. So basically what they're trying to do is that they'll say, okay, we'll give you the ability to sue us, but you're going to sue us on our home court. Basically, they're trying to say, well, if you're going to come after us, then we're going to have home field advantage, because obviously they must have some level of influence in the state of Washington, I'm sure. So they want to make sure that all the lawsuits go through the state of Washington, where they are based at. So then again, Nintendo overall has been suing people left and right. You want to know how bad the lawsuits have been for Nintendo over the history? There's a website out there, and it's called suedbynintendo.com. You guys can go there yourselves if you don't believe me. It is a nice, gigantic red homepage of nonsense, right? It's a red homepage of literal history regarding lawsuits from Nintendo. So I figured, let's go together and let's look through the lawsuits that Nintendo has done, because for the people, yeah, holy hell, yeah, oh, it's bad. For the people that don't understand Nintendo's history, and I'm showing you this now, but I'm going through all this in tomorrow's video, so please make sure you guys check out the video tomorrow. I'm sure you're going to find it very interesting. So this is where all the money's going. Yeah, share the website. I will share the website at the end. I got you. No worries. So this website's called Sued by Nintendo. Okay. Now, this essentially documents every single lawsuit that Nintendo has ever actually put out. Right. Now, keep in mind, Nintendo has been doing this for a long time. People try to push this narrative that Nintendo only just now got like this. That's not the case, bro. Nintendo has been a piece of shit litigious company for a very, very long time. Nintendo has done things like copyright YouTubers for the most ridiculous things. If a YouTuber is going over emulators, right? If a YouTuber is going over an emulator product or a machine that has an emulator system on it, or whatever the case may be, Nintendo has struck them for that. Fan projects that were done out of love with no monetary gain whatsoever to it, Nintendo has struck that too, right? So there has been a lot of situations where Nintendo is just throwing their dick around. So let's go over some of the history. This is very important. I'm going to make this as big as possible so we can see. So the most recent one is the one that we all know of, which is Nintendo suing the Costa Rican supermarket, which, by the way, hilarious story, by the way. Hilarious story. Nintendo attempted and lost a trademark battle against a Costa Rican supermarket where they filed a lawsuit against a guy named with a company named Super Mario for trademark infringement. Nintendo has lost a trademark battle, and the supermarket gets to keep the name Super Mario, which we went over that last time. But this story right here is an amazing story because it proves that Nintendo can lose litigiously. They can lose in the court system, and they should lose a lot of the time. Sometimes I agree with what they're doing in some scenarios. I've seen some lawsuits that they've done, and I'm like, okay, that's a blatant ripoff. Like when they sued the Chinese companies that were basically releasing the Pokemon games just with a different name on it. That is obviously copyright infringement. Like, there's no doubt about it. Anyway, but this shit, suing a supermarket, stupid. You're so stupid. And then in November 2024, Nintendo officially filed a lawsuit against Pocket Pair, which is still ongoing right now. And then in April 2024, Nintendo related content was removed from the Gmod Steam Workshop. Nintendo sent out a DMCA strike notice to Face Punch, forcing Gary to remove years of user-created add-ons related to Nintendo from the Steam Workshop. Okay? Now you got March of 2024, Yuzu and Citra emulators were stomped out by Nintendo. Yuzu and Citra were programs made to emulate Nintendo Switch and Nintendo 3DS games, respectively. Nintendo filed a lawsuit against Yuzu and the company behind it. I mean, we got a long history here, boys. Buckle up because this shit is long. I'm gonna go through some of them. Loud and Proud. Hold on. There's a comment here I want to highlight. It's interesting. Loud and Proud. Where is it at? Right here. Why aren't they going after blatant infringers in China? Instead, they go after their fans. So they go after both. Okay, they go after both. There is 2 lawsuits that I know about in China that Nintendo has recently won for any kind of copyright infringement, patent infringement, whatever. Like they won 2 lawsuits against basically copyright thieves in China and forced them to issue an apology on their own website, by the way, and take down the stuff that they stole and also pay money to Nintendo. So they do, in fact, go after the Chinese people. They just don't like to do it too often because it's a long process. It's an international issue, obviously. Here's a good one. October 2022, YouTube channel videos have been removed for using a mod. The YouTube channel Octoboy was making Splatoon 3 videos using a mod that allowed for far better camera angles, similar to the trailer videos that the developers themselves use. These videos were removed by Nintendo via a copyright claim. A copyright claim for someone modding their... Yo, Nintendo sucks dick, bro. I'm telling you. They suck so much when it comes to this stuff. And again, it's hilarious because their public-facing image as a company is, oh, we're family. We're the good guys. We're like, family friendly. You know what I'm saying? It's so ridiculous. And then in June of 2022, Metroid Prime covers were removed from YouTube. Covers and remixes of Metroid Prime music were removed after the owner of these videos were contacted by a lawyer from Nintendo asking them to remove it. You can't even pay homage and make your own stuff based in the image of Nintendo. Like, you can't even say, wow, this is one of my favorite songs. Let me do a cover of it and show love to the franchise. You can't even do that. Nintendo will strike you for that. Right? And then in June of 22, YouTube got more than 500 copyright claims. The YouTube channel Deoxys Prime received over 500 copyright claims over complete soundtracks of Nintendo games. Completely and utterly, basically nuked off the face of the earth. I'm sure his channel died or something happened. I don't really know. May of 22, Nintendo closes the DP sound library months after it launched. In February of 22, Nintendo created a sound library for the music of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. 3 months later, they decided to close the service. Not surprised. Took that shit down. March of 22, Nintendo issued a takedown on the scans of the SM64 guide. Scans of a Japanese Super Mario 64 strategy guide from 1996 were uploaded to archive.org. Nintendo issued a copyright takedown, and the scans were removed. Bro, these guys are going after scans of a 1996 strategy guide. And this is why when people say that, hey, Nintendo is a litigious piece of shit company that throws their lawyers around because they know they could get away with it 9 out of 10 times, this is the level of petty that we're dealing with here. Nintendo is willing to copyright strike paper scans of a 1996 strategy guide that they don't even fucking sell anymore for the last 2 decades. Seriously. That is how crazy we are dealing this. Like, this is how above and beyond Nintendo has become. And then check this out. March of 2022, Steam Deck videos were removed by Nintendo. Videos on YouTube showing the Steam Deck, Valve's first handheld console, emulating Switch games were apparently taken down by Nintendo. Now, a lot of people have told me with their Steam Decks that they have emulators on them. I know Will the Fans has told me that I believe he has an emulator on his Steam Deck, or somebody told me they have an emulator on his Steam Deck playing Nintendo games. February 2022, Nintendo removed Smash from Evo. Now this shit caused so much backlash. I don't know if you guys remember this, when they removed Smash from Evo, but the organizers over at Evo made a tweet stating that Nintendo decided to remove the Smash tournament from the lineup of games in 2022. Right? Asuda says, hold on, let me bring it up. Asuda says, I wouldn't say become. Nintendo has always been this way. No, I know. I'm just saying that. So when I say become, I mean that Nintendo has always been a litigious company that does stupid shit like this. But when I say become, I say they have become a lot more aggressive lately over the last year or two. And I think that's mainly because of Power World. Power World's success has unlocked the fucking beast that is in Nintendo, which we already thought that they were bad, right? As a company. I think everybody has that mindset that Nintendo, from a litigious standpoint and from a basically consumer and fan standpoint, they're pretty shitty. They will take away things that fans enjoy. They will sue you to oblivion. We already knew that. But ever since Power World has become a thing, it seems as if they've gotten worse. So that's why I say they are becoming worse. But we already know that they've been like this. Again, this is a website detailing their entire history. It goes way back. Well, you'll see in a second. And then he says, even in their golden years, Yamauchi, contrary to what people think, was very hardcore. Yeah, I get that. I get that. In February 2022, the eShop for the 3DS and the Wii U will shut down on 23. And then in February 22, YouTube channel received over 2,200 copyright blocks. The Gilver Sutter YouTube channel used to post video game music soundtracks. It received more than 2,200 copyright blocks from Nintendo, forcing the owner of the channel to remove the channel. Bro! And you know what's crazy? What's crazy is that somebody has to manually copyright strike every single one of those soundtracks. Isn't that crazy? They had to manually copyright every single one of those 2,200 soundtracks. That is the level of petty we are dealing with here. And their entire channel had to go down for it. Their entire channel died because of it. Pokemon FPS videos removed. Nintendo issued a copyright claim and removed videos containing the gameplay of a fan-made FPS Pokemon game across YouTube and the original Twitter posts. I wonder how they feel about that now, since we have third-person Pokemon, basically. we got third-person Pokemon with Power World. Third-person FPS, whatever. So, this is a good one. Everybody should remember this one. The Canadian hacker Gary Bowser pled guilty in November 2021, and now it has to pay Nintendo, I don't know how, $4.5 million, and even did some jail time, but then eventually got out of jail, if I'm not mistaken. Then in October 2021, the price for the Switch Online expansion was revealed, which we already know that. September 2021, Low Tide City cancels tournaments for Super Smash Bros. Mods. This was another big one. Here. So LTC was organizing tournaments for Project Plus, Beyond Melee, and 64 Remix, but Nintendo contacted the organizers and the tournaments were canceled. They did not want... Nintendo is so petty that they wouldn't let people host an event playing a Super Smash Brother, a modded version of Super Smash Brothers. That is how petty they are. They would not let them have an organized event with a modded Super Smash Brothers. You know? So, again, the history goes on and on and on and on. If I'm going to link the website here, I can't go through all of it tonight. But as you can see, we could keep scrolling down for ages and ages and ages and ages, where Nintendo has been doing this for a very, very, very long time. Look at this, bro. Look how long this goes. Look at this. I think it goes all the way back to 1989, where Nintendo sued Blockbuster for copying instruction books. That's how far back we're going. 1989 against Blockbuster, bro. In any case, here, I'm going to link the website if you guys want to check this out and read it and learn some of the history of Nintendo's litigious actions. You can check it out there in the chat. I just linked it. I'm spamming it a little bit so you can see it. Definitely check it out. Read about it. It's fucking insane. It's ridiculous. And like I said, guys, tomorrow's video at 11 o'clock Eastern, in the morning, I'm going to be releasing a entire video going over the history of Nintendo and also their lawsuit with Power World and also the EULA changes. We deep dive a little bit more into that and just overall have a conversation over what's going on with Nintendo and is it going to get worse? Probably, right? I got to imagine they probably will. I hope you guys like the video tomorrow. So, okay, let's catch up on Super Chats, boys. And then we're going to get into the waifu battle. I don't think we're at tier 1 just yet. We're getting close, though. We're getting close. Where are we at? Let's see. We got the Goon Room for a 2. Sharing is caring. Just saying. No, it's not. The Goon Room for a 2. Also, Sonia likes black guys. Ayo. Ayo. Anti-Federalist Pain with a 10. Says EULAs are shaky and courts are all over the place. There is no way to prove you clicked accept. And that doesn't even acknowledge that legally copied data on your computer can be made not acceptable. That's a good point. That's actually a fair point. I didn't even think about that. Mr. Melancholy with a 2. If buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing. I hear this all the time. And I don't blame people for saying that. Dragon with a 5. EULA or terms of service are not absolute. That's true. Any of them can be thrown out. It's about time and money. Facts. Peaches and Cream with a 2. Slap the like button. Bigots. I agree. You should be spanking the like button. Actually. Seen and heard with a 2. Sonia's pee smells like cherry, bro. Bro, why are you making me read that? That's crazy. Gray the Merchant with a 2. Nintendo became what it wants to be. Evil ninjas. Well, there you go. Levistro with a 20. Don't quote me on this, but I think Steam's SSA says this King County literally word for word. And it was because of California law last year forcing digital media stores to tell people they don't buy a game. My balls itch, by the way. Why did you have to end it with that? Why did you have to end your super chat that was highly informative with my balls itch, by the way? What the fuck is that, bro? Jesus Christ, man. What in the fuck, Levistro? The good room for it, too. One of you cunts ban me, K. Thanks. That's not going to happen. Justin with 3 months. Homer Simpson isn't allowed to court only to 9 without being sued by Nintendo. 1, 2. Oh, I'm sorry. He's only. Let me read that again. Homer Simpson isn't allowed to count only to 9 without being sued by Nintendo. 1, 2, 9, 10. Dope. There you go. I had to read it right. Thank you for 3 months. Ryan also for 3 months. Copyright is how we keep the fans down, and patents are how we keep the competition down. Nintendo. Oh man, that is a good way of putting it. That is a damn good way of putting it. Shout out to you. Raptor Kratos becomes a member all on his own. Shout out to Raptor Kratos. Thank you so much, man. Gray the Merchant with a 2. Nintendo. Family of Pinkerton Ninjas. NTDO Sumi. Oh, man. Furious Dan with a 2. Communist Nintendo is becoming like YouTube. Bro, I think, no offense, I think Nintendo's way worse than YouTube. I got to be honest with you. I think Nintendo is way worse than YouTube from a consumer standpoint and from a fan standpoint and just from a litigious standpoint all around. I think Nintendo's way worse. Again, people are making, like, you got people doing cover songs for content that you made that people enjoy. It's not like they're monetizing it. They're actually putting in the work to make it a little bit different, and you are forcing them to take it down. You got tournaments that people are trying to host to have fun with your game that they purchased. Can't do that because it's a modded version of the game and you don't like that. It's like you are the anti-fun police, Nintendo, which is crazy because your entire fucking shtick is we are Nintendo, we are the fun system, we are the family system. Come buy our stuff. But then you're the most anti-fun company out there. Mr. Spanish Coffee for a $4.99. What the fuck, Nintendo? Well, safe to say that my Rule 34 Samus and Peach are safe in my USB. I don't even want to know, bro. I don't even want to know. The Grateful Gamer with a 5. Do you think Gary Bowser is related to the Bowser running Nintendo at the moment? That would be interesting. 3 Bowsers in Nintendo infamous history. You might be onto something, man. Oh, Cyberwriter with a 1999 says Nintendo is literally the no fun police. Also, thanks for making me a part of the stream. Hey, shout out to you, Cyberwriter. No worries. I hope you come back. And I'm sorry that I guess this is your first time being here. I apologize that you got your face blasted by the chat, but that was not me. All right. That was the chat. They did it, not me. But I would cover your ears right now if I were. Thank you so much, Cyberwriter, for the 1999. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And then look at this fucking guy. You know what's crazy, bro? This is racism. You want to know why this is racism? So this is racism because Smash fucking JT, right? Smash JT donated $100 to black communities today. Okay, he donated a Red Boy mega banger to New Blackstreet, and he comes over here and drops half of that to the Latinos, right? Meanwhile, we're the ones that are doing the work, fixing the lawn, doing the fucking driveway, all kinds of shit. And he's like, yeah, no. Yeah, no, you could take a 50, you fucking spick. Just take a fit. God damn it, Smash. Smash JT for a $50 banger says hashtag fire Doug Bowser. And then Nikita knew. Shout out to Smash JT. Thank you so much for the $50 banger. I'm almost positive we are past tier 1 by now. I hope. I think. I'm sure. I think we are. And I agree. Hashtag fire Doug Bowser. There you go. Although, honestly, to be fair, even if you did, is Nintendo really going to change? Come on. Nintendo's problems are way deeper than just one person. You know what I'm saying? Way deeper than just one person. So I don't think it's going to be anything personally, even if he did get fired, you know? Then we got Levistro with a 2 says mod Mikey, please boss. That's a terrible idea. That is a terrible idea. Eric Jenkins with 499. There's a company in Cyberpunk Nintendo reminds me of. Oh, really? Beautiful Zexel with a 2. Nintendo has more lawyers than game developers. At this point, you might not be lying. You might be onto something. And then we got Mikey with a 2. Says, dude, no, ban me. Also, Cream works for Itchy Nuts. Bro, are we like seriously is Levistro and Mikey having a fucking like super chat conversation going on here about their balls? Like, is that what's going on here? This is massive levels of gay. What's going on? I don't understand. All right, guys, listen. Time to get into the waifu battle, ladies and gentlemen, and close out the stream in a few minutes. But we're going to have some fun because today is Battle of Champions. That means Saris, her cheating ass. Saris, I don't know how she's winning, but her cheating ass is going to have to go against a former champion. And that should make things very, very interesting, in my opinion. All right, boys. The waifu battle is here. Now, listen, man. If you guys have been missing the last couple of waifu battles, there has been chair shots. There has been drama. There's been all kinds of shit going on in this waifu battle. And somehow, some way, this woman keeps coming out on top, man. She keeps coming out on top. I don't know what's going on, man, but we're going to have to figure it out. So, the winner and still waifu battle champion as of right now is none other than obviously Saris from Helsing, ladies and gentlemen. Before we bring out the challenger, I'm going to go over the rules of engagement, and then we'll get into the battle, boys. Rule number 1. All super chats during the waifu battle can and they will count towards a particular waifu, but the only way they're going to count is if you put the name of the waifu in the super chat first. You have to put the name first, and then everything else can follow. If you do not put the name of the waifu in the super chat first, they will not count. It doesn't matter how big the super chat is. However, if you super chat after that one and you put the name of the waifu you forgot to put the first time, then I will make them all count. Rule number 2, you can vote for any waifu, regardless of who's on the screen. It doesn't matter. You could vote for the champion, who is obviously Ceres, or you could vote for the challenger, who you're about to find out. It doesn't matter who's on screen at the time. Last but not least, after the second waifu comes off screen, I will do a 30-second countdown. After that 30-second countdown, no more super chats are going to count, and it doesn't matter how big they are. The last super chat that shows up on my screen will be the one that counts. So please, if you are going to vote, vote early and vote hard, ladies and gentlemen. Do we understand the rules? I know we don't. It's okay. All right, boys. It's time to bring back this particular waifu that was actually heavily liked when she was the waifu battle champion. She had a little bit of a streak going, but it ended, unfortunately, due to a chair shot, if I'm not mistaken. It should be interesting to see if she could take down Ceres. I think she can, personally, and I actually like her as a waifu. So we're going to bring her out, and let's see if she can beat Ceres. But before we get started, hold on. Look at these two. You got Luis Fucina with a 2. Mikey misses DJ, so Lavistro will do for now. Oh, wow. We're cheating on each other. Lavistro for a 2. Please, boss. Also for Mikey. No. The Good Room for a 2. 2 for Assy McGee. Oh, my God, bro. Assy McGee. All right, let's bring out the challenger. All right, boys. The challenger that's going to go up against Ceres is going to be none other than the one and the only Blair from Soul Eater, ladies and gentlemen. Let's start the clock and let's see who is going to win. Is it going to be Ceres or is it going to be Blair from Soul Eater? The names are on the bottom. The names are on the bottom. You can make your pick below. And let's see what we got, boys. Are you going to pick the beautiful witch? Or are you going to pick Ceres? At this point, I think you guys are just picking Ceres to troll, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Kind of similar to what happened with Mount Lady and Misato, but, you know, you never know. You never know. Yes, witch versus vampire. That's a good way of looking at it. Witch versus vampire. Who is going to win? We got Mr. Vegeta starting us off with a 5 saying Ceres. Ha! Cyber Rider, best welcome. / epic buddy shot / snipe ever. Thanks for being a good sport. Again, welcome. Cyber Rider is becoming very popular in the Bigot Army, and she only just got here. But then again, makes sense. She did get blasted, so that makes sense. And then we got Luis Fucina with a 2. Ceres, vampires are more sexy than witches. You know what, man? Nobody asked you that. All right? Nobody asked you that. You bastard. And then we got Grateful Gamer with a 2. Ceres Victoria, because bigots love her cannons. All right. Fair enough. Then we got the Goon Room for a 2. Did you know Gold Bond works well for hurt nuts? You serious? You serious right now? Holy shit. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It is a fight. It is a fight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm surprised with all the love Cyber Rider's getting into the chat. Nobody has tried to make her a member. She's not a member of the Bigot Army. Somebody should try to make her a member. Cyber Rider, make sure you have gifted memberships enabled for this channel. Make sure you have it enabled. So when you come back in the future, because people like to give memberships here a lot. So make sure you have it enabled. Blackguard with 100 says Blair from Soul Eater. Down with Ceres. Oh, shit. Here we go. The fight is on. We got the Mervoth with a 2 saying, Ceres, I ain't betraying my vamp booba waifu. I'm not surprised. Look at your profile picture. And then we got Pete Drake with a 2 saying, Blair, my man. We got Ron with 199 saying, Blair makes my great pumpkin great again. Shout out to you. Mr. Melancholy with a 5 Sarahs. Can I get a happy birthday for my brother? Happy birthday to Mr. Melancholy's brother. We got Eric Jenkins with 199 Piranha Pout. Y'all got this one. I don't think so, bro. I think this is going to be a fight. Gearmaster with a 5 Blair. My vote took a minute to type with one hand. Oh my God, bro. Too much information. Levistro with a 5 Blair. Gotta go with Blair. She could pounce on me any day. My man. My man. That's why he's still a mod. We got Zalosi gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to you. Louis Messina gifting 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to you. And then we got John Winslow with a 2 says Blair, my post. Fair enough. Fair enough. And then we got Seaton Hurd with a 2 says Mikey teabags yogurt to ease the pain. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate it. And then we got Space Monkey with 499 says Sarah's Victoria. I stopped buying Nintendo after GameCube. Makes sense. Then we got Cyber Rider with a 499 says Sarah's. Thank you all. Please make me a member, okay? Shout out to you. Anime Mania with a 2 says Blair. Oh, we got a lot of Blair love today, boys. You Sarah's, bro, you Sarah simps that have been riding out this whole week, you guys are in trouble. You guys are in trouble, ladies and gentlemen. The champion is currently here. Let us begin. Who is going to win, Sarah's or Blair? Let's find out. We got Black Tailgate with a 10 Blair. I prefer women with a pulse. Damn, is that what we're doing? Holy shit. Blackguard with a 10 membership. Mega banger. Shout out to Blackguard. Thank you so much for that. Anti-Federalist Pain with a 5 Blair. The hat and the stocking stay on. She casts a spell on a part of me. Very romantic. Very romantic. Gray the Merchant with a 2 says for a 2. Blair. Crimson Jet I challenge. Oh, no. No, shut up. No, don't do that. Do not do that. This man said, Crimson Jet, I challenge you. Do not. Crimson Jet, do not listen to him. You're fine, bro. Crimson Jet. With the heartbreak of numbnuts, which is why I use Gold Bond. Is this some sort of like advertisement? Roan with a 1 Hypnotic membership. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. Randall Hess with a 10 Blair. She can enchant me any day. Very nice. Very nice. Justin with a 20 Blair. No real reason. You put on a good show and I watch you more than streaming services. Also, Saris is British and would just love to lay there. She's surprised she lasted so long. Keep up the great work. Bro, thank you, Justin. I appreciate that, man. I really do. That's a nice comment. Thank you for that. Eric Jenkins with 199. Kirby, Mikey, Cocoa Butter helps with itching. Oh, man. Mr. Vegeta with a 2 says, Saris, let's go. Let's go. You guys are fighting hard, huh? Because look what we got here. Hickory Excalibur with a 49.99. Oh, man, we are going all out, ladies and gentlemen. He says, Blair, get that blonde undead female dog up out of here. Oof. Oof. That's insane. The fighting words. I love to see it. Beautiful Zexel with a 2 says, Blair for the win. Dragon with a 10 says, Sarah's Vamps get sucked so hard. Primo Victoria. I mean, he's not lying there, to be fair. He's not lying there. Vanguard Commander with a 5. Blair, let's see how this goes. Vanguard, bro, it's your birthday. Don't spend money on me, bro. don't, I mean, do what you want. I'm not your daddy, but still. People don't listen to me anyway when I say don't spend money, but I feel bad, bro. It's your birthday. We got Louis Messina with a 2. Saris, Gray, your fight is with Eric, not Crimson. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, why would you challenge Crimson Jet? Are you out of your mind? Like, Crimson Jet has dropped $200, $300, $400, $500 on waifus, bro. Like, that's not. We have this. Don't fuck it up. Grateful Gamer with a 5. Saris, the police girl can get my baton anytime. Gray the Merchant with a 2. Blair, my fight is with all Saris Sims. Fuck y'all. Oh, man. Oh, man. This is not gonna end well. I already feel it. I feel it in my bones. Denarier with 499. Blair, did Levistro and Mikey have a fling? Probably. Is Mikey a furry? I don't think so. What on earth did I just walk into? Also, wizards are badder than bloodsuckers. That's true, but bloodsuckers are suckers. You know what I mean? So, like, you know, the earlier super chat kind of had a point. They kind of had a point. You know what I'm saying? This is exciting. Yeah, I'm scared to find out what's gonna happen, bro. We got Black Tailgate with a 5, says Blair. I prefer brunettes, though I myself am blonde. Oh, there you go. Louis Facito with a 2. Sarah's gray. Nurgle, it's telling you to chill. All right, boys, listen. The final waifu is off the screen. We are at tier 2, so the ears are going on. Guys, this is the final countdown, and I'm scared as to what might happen in this countdown because somebody thought it was a great idea to challenge Crimson Jet and other people, but whatever. It is what it is. There is no rumble, so I don't have to talk about a delay. That's crazy. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Super chat that is going to count is Biot Wolf 19 with the Stone Cold Stunner. The Stone Cold Stunner. He says Blair with an insane chair shot. Holy shit. Holy shit. And then on top of that, Hypno's Cat for a 10 says Saris can suck my main vein. And then Andrew Howell with a 50 plot twisted us and said, Saris, surprise, you bastard. And then Gray the Merchant with a 2 says, Blair, no Nurgle will bless me. We are gooning. And then Crimson Jet with a $200 Red Boy Mega. I told you guys, don't challenge this man. You don't listen to me. You don't listen to me. Crimson Jet with a 200 says, Saris, I'm here, bro. Oh my God, bro. And then Mystic Vegeta with a 2. Saris doesn't have to show much. And then Dark Mages with a 5. Blair, I'd pet that kitty all night long if she wanted to. You know how cats are. This fucking guy. All right, mods. The last one that is going to count is Biot Wolf for $200 fucking dollars. What absolute... I already knew this was going to be crazy. I knew that this countdown was going to be absolutely insane. Mods, Sonia, count it up. Count it up. And let's go over some clips, man. For the interest of time, we're going to combine all the red clips for that beautiful clip. Biot Wolf and Crimson Jet and Blackguard. Earlier on, you guys are absolute fucking legends. I appreciate every single one of you. And for you and everybody else, thou shall goon. Shout out to all you guys. Holy shit. And then we had Andrew Howell and Hickory Excalibur dropping $50 bangers during the waifu battle. Shout out to both you guys. Thank you so much for the $50 bangers. I appreciate you. And then we had Justin with the only $20 banger in the waifu battle. Shout out. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Justin, and everybody else who contributed to the waifu battle. This was a wild one. This is very close. I don't know who won, to be honest with you. I kind of want to say Blair. But I really don't know. Biot Wolf Super Chat only made it at the very last second. He was literally 1 second away from my screen going back on, which was crazy. So I don't know. I think Blair got it, though. I'm almost positive Blair got it because of that last. If it wasn't for that last Super Chat, Wow, talk about fucking clutch, BioT Wolf. Talk about clutch, bro. Damn. Fucking scary, bro. That shit is insanity. I saw Crimson Jet Super Chat and I'm like, well, there's that. And then I saw yours and I was like, oh shit. Crazy, bro. That last dono saved her. Yep. All right. Who won? Hey, Sonia's counting. Sonia's counting. Give Sonia a second. Sonia's counting. Sonia is counting. God damn, that's loud. Fix it. Stop yelling at me, old man cat. I promise I'll fix it today. I have so many things I have to do, and that's one of them. I'm sorry. I'm blowing out the old man ears. I'm sorry. Still love you anyway. Bozzy, well, I did not think it would be on time, bro. I'm telling you, you literally, it was like 1 second away. 1 second away, bro. Where's T-Jab? T-Jab is off on Fridays. Sonya, do math, according to Old Man Cat. Yeah, T-Jab's off on Fridays. You guys didn't notice that? Time for me to cope? Oh, shit. Don't cope. Don't cope. Don't cope. She says, I'm working on it. She's going to throw a chancla at you. It's going to go at lightning fucking speed. In the meantime, who are we rating? Let me look up. Let me see who are we rating. Hold on. Let's see. Who are we rating? Who are we rating? Have I rated Smash JT this week? Have I rated Smash this week, guys? I don't remember. Your heart is racing from that, bro. That was, I'm telling you, BioT Wolf. I wish I had, like, maybe I could clip it. Maybe I can clip it, but BioT Wolf, I'm telling you, bro, your super chat was 1 fucking second away from not counting. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding, bro. It was 1 second away. I would have been so mad if that shit didn't count, bro. I'm sure you would have been too, but I haven't rated Smash today. Okay, so I'll rate him today. Hey, Coke Classic Cage in the chat. Big booty Latina who likes Coke because she's a crackhead. No, let me stop. Let me stop. Shout out to Cassie. Much love to Cassie. Appreciate you. You're at the end, right at the perfect time, the Goonin time. You're at the Goonin time. We got Dragon with a 5. Says as a blood donor, I'll remember this. Oh man. Don't be too angry. Don't be too angry. Oh, here we go, boys. In the Battle of Champions, the numbers are in. We got Blair at $442.88 against Saris with $308.98, which means the winner. And the new, that felt good saying that, Waifu Battle Champion is none other than the one and the only Blair, ladies and gentlemen. Man, I am excited. We got a brand new champion to go into Sunday with, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go. Brand new champion. The upset. Yes, the upset. What a massive upset, boys. Let's do it one more time. One more time. Little louder, little louder. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I am sure that there are going to be some people coping and seething in today's chat, which, by the way, those same people are probably going to try to get revenge on Sunday. So I'll be very careful of what happens and who you challenge on Sunday.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the waifu battle. Blair is going to go backstage where on Sunday she will face off against a brand new waifu on Hypnocast, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every single day we do this show, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the exception of tomorrow, which will be our panel show, Saturday Night Hypnosis, for you new people out there who are finding me for the first time. Saturday Night Hypnosis, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. It's a long-running panel show. Come hang out with us. We talk all things gaming, obviously, and entertainment as a whole sometimes. It'll be nice to see you there. We got a lot of coping going on, bro. A lot of coping going on. Holy shit. Hold on. We got Razor Burn for 6 months. Is Hypnotic. Never underestimate the power of the chancla. Moms are famous for throwing them and never miss, even around corners. I know that. I'm Hispanic. I grew up with that. I understand the aim fucking assist that happens with chanclas. I understand, like the aim bot, right? You go around a corner and you think you're safe, and somehow, some way, that shit swerves, right? I get it. I totally get that. We got Gray the Merchant with a 2. I always have a plan. Vengeance is mine. Gulag, you see? These guys are planning revenge already. It's not even Sunday. And they're planning revenge already. Justin with a 5. Sarah says the enemy tonight is timing. Fair. And then last but not least, we got Hypno's Cat with a 2. Says, I'm coping and seething. That was not last. We got Roan with a 2. Let's see if Atreus actually shows up to SNH. I told him if he doesn't show up to SNH one more time, it's just not gonna, it's gonna be ugly. We got Randall Hess gifting 1 Hypnotic memberships right at the end. Thank you, Randall Hess. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for that. All right, man. Listen, we are fully caught up everywhere. Shout out to all you guys for the absolutely insane stream tonight. Like I said, 2 things. Number 1, tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check out the new video. Do not miss it. It's a full breakdown on Nintendo's history. I think it's a good conversation piece, and I think you guys will enjoy watching it. If you're a content creator, perhaps you'll enjoy reacting to it. I don't know. Check it out regardless. And tomorrow also, we have Saturday Night Hypnosis, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you come hang out with us on the stream. For the panel, we have a lot that we need to talk about. There's a lot going on throughout the week. All right, boys. Thank you guys so much for the insane support. Shout out to everybody who liked the stream, commented, spammed the chat, super chatted, gifted memberships. I appreciate all of it. And shout out to the Hypno mods for doing what they do every single day. Special shout out to Sonia for counting tonight on Friday. And we will see you guys on the next one. We're going to be rating Smash JT after this. We didn't rate him all week. So let's just go rate him today so you can stop complaining about me not rating him. Shout out to all you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Until then, go be bigots and go be gooners. Bye.
I am not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. And I got news for you. That means you get.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Her dog, or her cat, was named Vagina.
bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life. I bring life.